Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Ōkami walkthrough. So we've done pretty much everything that we can do here in Kaniki Village. I believe I ever so slightly forgot to show off two things. One, if you slash that clover there, it'll do that, because it's a fun little extra thing. But if you come into Mr. and Mrs. Orange's house, kind of smash down their paper barrier thingy. I should know the name of that, I really should, but oh well. If you dig there, there's a treasure! It's great. And now that we have learned all of our things that we can learn so far, we're actually able to progress further into the world. Which of course means that we are probably going to have to buy some more things, maybe level up a little bit more. Also, at this point I was slightly nervous about the way in which the tomes worked, because I didn't remember whether once you'd sold items they no longer appeared in your tome. Thankfully, even after you've sold them, it will still turn up if you got it once, so it's absolutely fine. You don't need to be an obsessive anal sod like I was. But I will say, it's also always very good to make sure that you have a decent stock of the feed bags, because free praise, I mean, come on. I am also... well, I believe at this point I'm being an idiot. And an absolutely stonking idiot, because I thought that I was, buying holy bones there rather than selling them. Yeah, that's gonna come back to bite me in the ass very, 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 very soon. I can't believe I did that. It's fine, don't worry, it's not going to colossally screw me over, but it very nearly did. Now, it's really annoying because this clover here, you can tell it's a clover because of the green light, as I believe I mentioned when we saw our first clovers. Yeah, we can't do anything about that particular clover for a very long time. And there's actually a case with quite a lot of things in Shinshu Field, and quite a lot of the areas in the game actually. So, right there we have a mermaid spring. Can't physically do anything with it right now. The clover, can't do anything with it. Those gravestones, can't do anything with them. Just in general, there's a lot that's left to do. Also, it's time to learn a new skill seeing as we have the money. Really, I don't necessarily need to get this because it's actually useless. Or at least it is in the Wii version. Because it is Fleetfoot. Basically what it allows you to do is to dodge. Which is all well and good, if it actually works properly. And unfortunately, it does not. What the game wants you to do is swing your nunchuck in a direction, and that will allow you to dodge out of the way of attacks and so on and so forth. Now, whenever you shake the nunchuck, you will perform Fleetfoot, which is fine. It's just that it's very, very, very unwieldy. And won't go in the direction that you want it to. And so, yeah, it just ends up being a little bit useless. I don't know whether it works better in the PS2 and PS3 versions. I suspect it would do. Because if I recall correctly, one of the major things that the Wii port was criticised for, amongst other things, was the fact that Fleetfoot was absolutely useless. Like, it just does not work. And also, the thing is that in actual combat, you're generally running around a lot, so the opportunities for using Fleetfoot are generally few and far between, because you're much better off jumping out of the way of things rather than dodging that way. And we finally get to, well, actually, I don't think we are ever going to go over damn bridge, well, broken bridge, that would normally instigate a cutscene. But essentially what you need to do, seeing as we have learned Water Lily, is draw water lilies and gradually make your way down through this tunnel. I would point out that all the game wants you to do is kind of slowly, very slowly make your way through and jump all the way down, but you're actually just better off swimming and drawing the odd lily pad when you're running out of swimming power. It'll actually get you along much, much, much quicker. What's really cool is that, though, later on, and this is a lot later on, you will be able to get an item which will actually allow you to run on water, thereby making segments like this nowhere near as infuriatingly slow. However, it's going to be slightly infuriatingly slow for a very long time until we get that. And if my memory serves me correctly, that's sitting at like 30 plus parts away. Yeah, it's insane. But here we are in Agatha Forest, which is looking all depressing and it's sad. Now, I've tried to do some research into what kind of Agatha Forest links to, and I can't really find anything. So, its Japanese name is Agatha no Mori, which I think literally just mean forest Agatha, which makes sense, but I can't find out what Agatha means at all, and I don't know why. It may be in reference to a train station, because as I said, on the line with Agatha, which is the Tobu Isesaki line, you have Hanasaki, which is like Hanavali and stuff, but I don't know. It could also be to do with a gate, which is a mineral. I don't know why, because my brain automatically leaps to Agate Village in Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Girls of Darkness, but the Japanese for that is like agate, so I don't know. But here we have Madame Fawn, who gives us prophecies if you pay her money. You get a free one to begin with. Actually, never mind, no you don't, you have to pay either way. But something that's actually really cool with Madame Fawn, so her Japanese name is Bokusen Baba. Now, the Bokusen bit is a method of divination for determining the divine will or fortune-telling the outcome of an event, which is basically her entire function. And the Baba bit is like old woman or grandmother. So Madame Fawn's Japanese name is basically old woman divination or or grandmother divination, which is really actually awesome. Apparently Bokusen does have a various, well, it these days signifies divination in general, which comprises an extremely complex variety of methods, but essentially the method that Madame Fawn uses is like the casting of bones, so it's cleromancy, which is most commonly associated with rolling of dice. But yes, also I think another form of drawing lots is called omikuji, which may be more accurate to what she does. Not 100% sure. Oh no, it's definitely Cleromancy because she reads cracks on bones after they have been heated over a fire to tell the future. But very, very surprisingly easily, we have restored Agatha Forest to its original beauty. And, oh, it's great. But you may be thinking, that's way, way, way too easy. And you would be right. You would be so, so very right. Thankfully, obviously, we are going to get the wonderfulness of just other stuff, because we have now gotten a new weapon, which is an absolute godsend. So, the devout beads are the rosary, and basically this introduces the fact, a little bit later than you may have realised, the fact that there are multiple types of weapons. So you have the reflector weapons, which is what the original weapon is, you have the rosaries, which are these, and then later on you will get the glaives. Annoyingly, that surprise has sort of already been spoiled for you, because of Onigiri Sensei's skills that you can buy. But there has been worse spoilers and things, I have to say. Also in here we have another clover, and just generally, there's a lot to do. Now the music you're hearing right now is simply titled Agatha Forest, so nothing particularly complicated. Also when we were in Madame Fawn's tent, it was Granny Bokusen's theme. And this is the sound of a flute. Because we are about to be introduced to one of my favourite characters in the game. He's amazing. And such an asshole, but so amazing. Let's rock, baby! And with that absolutely wonderful Devil May Cry reference, because obviously Hideki Kamiya directed both, it's time to fight Waka, who I am going to do absolutely terribly against. This fight is a bit of a challenge because of all the water about. It's annoying. The general technique is stay the hell away from him, if you can. And whenever he does stuff like that, you just wail on him. And do lots of jumping if you can. It is useful if you can shield against some of his attacks, because then you automatically kind of stun him. But I failed miserably. Now, musically, I should just point out, we've had Ushiwaka's theme, Ushiwaka's appearance, confronting Ushiwaka, and now I believe this is Ushiwaka's dance playing with Ushiwaka, because Waka's Japanese name is Ushiwaka, which is based on the name of Minamoto no Yushitsune, or Yushitsune, who's known as Ushiwakamaru. Basically, he's a general of the Minamoto clan of Japan in the late Heian and early Kamakura period. So he's kind of very, very famous historical general. Considered one of the greatest and most popular warriors of his era and one of the most famous samurai fighters in the history of Japan. So they chose a good base for Waka here. Apparently also, Ushiwakamaru was also said to have been taught the way of the sword by a Tengu, which is reflected in Waka's appearance as well as his skill in swordsmanship, because his Tao mask, or Dao mask, however you pronounce it, is like a bird's face, and then you've got sort of the wings in his cap. So there's a whole Tengu thing going on, and apparently also the sandals that he wears are called Geita sandals. They're actually called Tengu Geita, as Tengu were believed to wear the Geita with one tooth in the middle. There's also this whole thing to do with Waka's clothes being that of a Yamabushi, who are mountain ascetics who, well, they follow the syncretic Shugendo creed. And in reference to that, Tengu are often depicted dressing Yamabushi dress, which is why Waka's wearing that. So there's a whole thing to do with that. They like going with the whole Tengu stuff. Which is odd, because then I'm pretty sure the Tengus later appear as a sort of enemy. But they are considered a type of Shinto gods, or yokai, which are like supernatural beings or ghosts. And although they take their name from a dog-like Chinese demon, Tiangu, their Tengu are kind of more bird-like, and you will see later on. Also with Waka we have Pillow Talk, which is his weapon, and you should probably recognise it, like Pillow Talk, referring to a massive green glowing sword, because it also appears in Bayonetta as an unlockable weapon, which is just absolutely amazing. And if you watch my Bayonetta run, you will probably remember it, because it's awesome. Apparently, Waka's method of activating Pillow Talk is similar to Hayato Kanzaki's method of activating his plasma blade in Capcom's Star Gladiator, and I mean that would not be surprising because obviously there's lots of Capcom references throughout Ōkami, because it was made at a time when, well, when Clover Studios existed and it was part of Capcom. There's also apparently the point that Pillow Talk is likely based on Imatsurugi, which is Minamoto no Yushitsune's legendary golden-hilted sword, which he received from his Tengu mentor in a flash of light. So you can see where all of the Tengu stuff is going. But Waka is going to give us a wonderful prophecy. A log and big thrills. I have to say I'm slightly terrified as to where this is going to lead us, but it should be fun either way. Au revoir, Waka. I'll go further into stuff like Waka's weird speech patterns when we see him again. Though I have to say that won't be for a little while yet, so something to look forward to. But now that that's all done, we can finally explore Agasa Forest. Let's do it.